Last year, he told Steph he could have any contract he wants, too.
Yeah, that was different. He's been here for the way before days. He's earned it.
Kevin Wayne Durant, born September 29th, 1988. A question like this about a great player can be looked at from a few different perspectives. The players, from guys he's played with and against on the NBA level, who understand everything you go through leading up to a game and not just the actual minutes on the floor, understand the level of focus you have to even reach the NBA, then protect your spot on kinetic-like rosters always changing, while having your basketball skills tested daily for years and decades plus. Those players also have a unique bond with all former NBA players that creates a bias in their opinion through past relationships or experiences with said player. Then there's basketball players or athletes in general that haven't made it to a level like the NBA, don't share that unique bond, but still have similar experiences and unbiased opinion that could be closer to the truth. Also, the everyday fans have their perspective as well that lacks experience and includes bias, but is the truest when it comes to the eye test. With that said, what perspective do you answer the question, did Kevin Durant live up to expectations from? Keeping in mind Durant's career is still active, 35 now and will be 36 before the start of next season. His team, the Phoenix Suns, were the first team swept in the 2024 playoffs. He's on his fourth NBA team. All team exits have been his decision, and as a player, he's been in every situation you could want to have success as a potential greatest of all time. In OKC, he's had a total of 3 eventual league MVPs on his team in Westbrook, Harden, and himself, a feat only done 3 other times and on 3 other teams in league history. On that team, he's made multiple conference finals and an NBA finals against the Miami Heat in 2012, losing 4 games to 1. He'd leave that team for Golden State at 28 years old, immediately go to the NBA finals in back-to-back years and easily defeat LeBron James and the Cavaliers both times, winning 4-1 in 2017 and 4-0 in 2018. Both years, he was the finals MVP. After sustaining a significant injury that cost his team a three-peat in 2019, he left Golden State for Brooklyn to team up with his good friend Kyrie Irving and eventually James Harden, where he lost in the second round, then first round before leaving there as well. His current situation was supposed to give him the best chance at finally winning a championship without the crutches of the greatest shooter ever in prime Steph and one of the best teams of all time. Yet, he was just swept in the first round by who looks to be the dominant player and possibly team in the Western Conference going forward. He's locked into his current Suns contract the next 2 seasons, a team not looking to be anywhere close to contending as he ages toward not being able to take over games and series like he once could. So, if this is nearing the end, did Kevin Durant live up to the expectations and potential he had entering the NBA? In my opinion, he's been an all-time great individual player, generational individual talent, unicorn scorer, and also efficient, hard worker, ultimate professional on and off the floor. But no, in the end, or what looks to be near, he hasn't. And these are the biggest 3 reasons. Let's talk about it. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth. Get it, man. Take a minute to like, subscribe, and comment on who I should do next. Kevin Durant growing up was the ultimate prospect story. Blessed in advanced size for basketball, 6 foot by 10 years old, and had a love for the game since a child growing up in Prince George County, Maryland. His AAU coach was killed at age 35, so Durant wore that number in honor of a man he looked up to and taught him a lot about the game he loved. He played for 3 different high school teams on his way to becoming a McDonald's All-American, rated the 2nd best prospect leaving high school behind only Greg Oden. Even so, from those days you could see Kevin Durant was going to be one of the greats due to his one-of-a-kind ability to be a 7-footer or close to it and able to handle, shoot, and score the way he could. Expectations came with that to have a career rivaling the greats, especially LeBron James and other greats from his era. Reason number 1, joining the 73-win Golden State Warriors. With the talent Kevin Durant had, the only thing that could stop his basketball legacy not being up there with the all-time greats is Durant himself. When he joined the Golden State Warriors in 2016, in my opinion, it stunted his growth and took him down a few notches behind the other greats that didn't take the easy way out. And for Easy Money Sniper, as he calls himself, joining a 73-win Warrior team who had won a championship without him on the team, had another generational talent like Steph Curry, and 2 other All-Stars in Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, was too easy for a guy with everything needed to carry his own situation. Make matters worse, that team had just defeated Durant and the Thunder in embarrassing fashion a little over a month prior, coming back from down 3-1 to winning Game 7 on their way to going to the NBA Finals. His reason for leaving is he wanted to maximize his skills and play a brand of basketball that wasn't predicated on individuals carrying the load. That's fine, but there's unwritten rules in competition that have always been followed for the most part by the greats, all hitting a wall before finding a way through without that much help. One of those rules is you don't join the side that you competed against, the side you could have defeated with a little more work. After that's done, then leave. But to leave your kingdom to become second fiddle in another, one that's defeated yours not long before, took a lot from Durant's legacy. He can say it's just a game or he just wanted to win and be happy, but it was received as soft, or as Damian would say, running from the grind. Of course, some are fine with his decision, as it's his to make and live with, but for the game to have KD on the same team as Steph, instead of competing against each other when Golden State was that powerful, was not productive and will always be the biggest asterisk in his career. Reason number 2, leaving Golden State. Now that the damage was already done and the potential greatest of all time, once upon a time Kevin Durant left his kingdom he's been building for 9 seasons to join Steph Curry's, where they won 2 championships and were a healthy Durant, Klay Thompson away from three-peating, he further compounded and confused his legacy by leaving a team that could have still been dominating and winning championships today. From 2017 to now, Durant could have had at least 4 championships, if not 5, or who knows, maybe even more, how good that team was with him on it and how perfect they were for each other. With them all healthy, there's literally no beating them. If the game and legacies are built on winning championships, no matter how you feel about him leaving OKC for Golden State, him leaving a player like Steph Curry, while both were in their primes, was an even bigger reason Durant slid even further down the conversation, seeing as he still has those same 2 championships he won with the Warriors. His only 2 rings signify a time many felt he, of all the greats, was helped the most. Even when LeBron cornered the East, joining with the 3rd greatest shooting guard of all time and 3rd best player in the conference in Chris Bosh, along with Ray Allen, who saved Bron from going 1-4 in the finals with the Heat, it still wasn't seen as soft because LeBron eventually won outside of D-Wade, Bosh, and the Heat. Durant never has and likely never will unless he makes another questionable move, leaving his team to team up with more all-time greats. He left Golden State because he felt undervalued by the team and fans who, no matter what, was never going to embrace him like their own, because honestly, he wasn't. He was their enemy for 8 years, as they should. Also because of he and Draymond's in-game exchange that hurt his feelings. Either way, he took steps back leaving Golden State and should have made amends and continued winning championships. 100 years from now, the number is all that will matter, not the context. Reason number 3, never winning after Golden State. And lastly, I think in the end, Kevin Durant's basketball legacy will also be stunted because he couldn't show he could still win outside being carried. He left Golden State in order to show them and fans he could still win, much like LeBron did, first teaming up with Kyrie in Brooklyn. Durant was coming off an Achilles tear and sat out the first year in Brooklyn, but the combination of he and Kyrie were still seen as enough to contend. But the year he did play, Kyrie goes down with an injury and they lost in the semifinals Game 7 to the Bucks, then were swept in 2022 in the first round by the Celtics, and Kevin and Kyrie's relationship on the court imploded, leading to both asking for trades to new teams. 3 years and 1 playoff series win to show for that time. Durant goes to Phoenix with Devin Booker and Bradley Beal, 2 All-Stars, considered 2 of the best shooting guards individually at one point. With Kevin Durant, they were supposed to compete for championships, but after losing the way they did in 2024, swept by the still young Timberwolves, they're big 3 healthy, and Durant 36 before he gets to a playoff again, I just don't see them winning a championship in his time there. That leaves where will he go next? With 2 years locked into the Suns, 38-39 if he does join a new team, I don't think it matters. Unless he makes another soft move to join other superstars, Kevin Durant is not winning another championship. Even if he does team up with other superstars, how much will that be worth? All in all, Kevin Durant is still individually a top 10 all-time talent. Did he have a top 10 all-time career overall? In my opinion, no. There's a certain respect you have for guys that won on their own terms, and the way KD won to me wasn't on his. He joined an already well-oiled championship machine and left before he could justify it. He also only won 2 chips. Compared to the greats, that's just not enough. He was supposed to finish challenging LeBron for the best of his era. Instead, he's behind LeBron and Steph Curry, where he looks to remain. Great player, but for these reasons, in my opinion, didn't live up to expectations. Salute, much respect. It's your boy JC Stunted Growth, and I'm out.